Is MindLab Pro the best nootropic stack on the market today? We're talking all about that in today's podcast. Let's jump into it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Holistic Nootropics podcast. My name is Eric. I'm the founder of HolisticNootropics.com, and I'm here to help you boost your supplement and nootropic performance. One way you can do that is by heading on over to HolisticNootropics.com and downloading a copy of my free supplement buying guide. This supplement buying guide will walk you through ingredient by ingredient on how to find the best quality supplements and nootropics on the market today, because the $100 billion supplement industry is filled with a lot of junk, because a lot of these supplement companies are cutting corners by filling their products with all kinds of preservatives and fillings and fillers and food colorings and all kinds of toxic stuff that you don't really want in your body, but you're getting through your supplements, and it's really diminishing the quality of the product you're buying. So at the end of the day, you're kind of wasting money on supplements. So if you want to avoid wasting money on supplements and only buy the best products on the market today, then you got to know what to look out for. So I put that in a supplement guide that you can download for free at holisticnootropics.com. Okay, let's jump into today's podcast, all about my MindLab Pro review, my review of MindLab Pro. So, what is MindLab Pro? MindLab Pro is a pre-formulated nootropic stack. So I like to call these nootropic multivitamins because, like a multivitamin nootropic stack like MindLab Pro is formulated, in this case, with 11 different nootropics. Actually, it's 8 nootropics and 3 B vitamins. So there's 11 ingredients altogether. And like a multivitamin, these are formulated in a way, or at least they're supposed to be formulated in a way that really brings out the best in the different nutrients that are in there. So like a multivitamin, you get things like, B vitamins, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K. You'll get like biotin and, magnesium and zinc and iron and all these different things, right? But it's not like thousands of milligrams of each thing. It's, the nutrients are portioned in a way to where one specific nutrient isn't carrying the heavy load. They're all kind of, kind of homeostatically put together in a way that brings out the synchronicity so they can really create an overall effect. And that's what you're getting from a stack like MindLab Pro. You're not getting super high doses of any one nootropic, but you're getting enough of each nootropic to where each can kind of work together to bring out the best qualities of each other and then really give you a brain boost from there, which is why I love pre-formulated stacks like this. So if you never heard of MindLab Pro, but maybe you've heard of Alpha Brain, Qualiamine, Gorilla Mind, New Cube, Viamine, there's all kinds of nootropic stacks out there, and they all kind of play a different game with nootropics. Now, there are those nootropic stacks out there that do have higher dose nutrients, and I don't think those are great. One thing I really believe you need to look out for when you are choosing nootropics is, first off, you have to recognize in yourself why you need a nootropic. What are you trying to get out of a nootropic? Do you need a nootropic for mental health? Do you need a nootropic for mood enhancement like depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia? Obviously you should be working with a professional if those are serious conditions you have, but let's just say you want, to up level a specific mood condition. Okay, so there's specific nootropics you need for that. Do you need a nootropic for enhancing focus? Let's say you're a student and you want better focus, better concentration, better abilities to learn, to memorize, to retain information. Let's just say you want your brain just to be on more. You want more sociability. You want to be able to connect with other people better. Whatever it is, whatever brain specific demand you have, you need to identify that before you start jumping into nootropics. And there are different nootropics that play different roles in helping to bring those things out. When you use something like a MindLab Pro or a nootropic stack like this, what you're going to get is a very non-specific cognitive enhancement, meaning like you'll take it, you're not going to feel a buzz, you're not going to feel a kick or a jolt, but you'll just feel more engaged. You'll just feel like your brain is on, and you won't know it until it's been a couple hours since you've used the product. Like if you drink coffee, you're going to feel coffee pretty immediately. Even if you take like an Adderall or some kind of pharmaceutical drug, you're going to feel that pretty immediately. With something like a nootropic, you're going to feel it after you've been getting after it for a little bit, and you realize like, oh, I was way more productive in the last 3 hours than I am normally. Oh, what did I do? I took MindLab Pro, or I took NuCube, or I took Alpha Brain, or whatever it is, or I took, a paracetam or something like that. So that's if you haven't used nootropics before, or if you're trying to figure out where nootropics fit in your overall supplement strategy, that's where it is. So with MindLab Pro specifically, my personal MindLab Pro story is I've been using it for about a year. I started taking it during the first semester of medical school. Really, up until that point, I never felt the need for nootropics. Like I've used, nootropics sparingly. I've used, like L-theanine here, phosphatidylserine there, even some choline products, a little bit of racetam here, but never like, I was doing it more to experiment. I never really felt like I needed it. Now that I'm in medical school and I've got kids and, I've got a home life, and I've got obviously the demands of school and paying attention in classes. I was even going to school in a foreign language, so I needed, to be able to boost my ability to speak a foreign language. I had a lot of cognitive demands, and I felt like I just needed that extra push, that extra 5 to 10% push to help me get my brain to the level to where not only was I not struggling, but I was thriving. And that's what MindLab Pro has really helped me do. It's really helped me get my brain on that next level, so I can sit for hours at a time and study, and not just like look at information and read it, reread it, and my eyes start to no, I'm talking about fully engaged understanding, and then being able to recall the information, store the information, and have my brain feel so on that I can go for hours, even while fasting, even eat and then come back, or exercise and then come back and continue studying or continue learning, or then go to a lecture and feel fully engaged on what's going on, or talk with other students and feel like I can carry a conversation and not just feel totally mentally drained. That's when I started taking MindLab Pro. That's when I really discovered how potent this thing is. And now I've been using it for, not just studying, but for creating content, for doing a lot of research, into, again, real technically heavy medical topics, real heavy biochemistry stuff, real heavy anatomy, neuroanatomy, especially when we're talking about this channel. So I do find that when I take a MindLab Pro, or when I take a dose of MindLab Pro, it works as well as any other nootropic that I take in isolation. So again, I'm talking about, attention, better recall, memory enhancement, brain protection, less brain fog, and even better sleep. So let's talk about the ingredients of MindLab Pro. So the first thing you'll notice from this formula, before I even talk about the ingredients, is the formulation. So, where you want to look when you're looking at a supplement, you want to look at the ingredients tab, or other ingredients tab. And in a lot of supplements, especially multivitamins, you'll see a long list of stuff. And that should be your red flag, especially if you cannot pronounce what the ingredient is. If you see things like different sugars, anything that ends with "-ose", like dextrose or maltose or something like that, you want to look out for that stuff too. Any food colorings you'll see. But in this formulation, MindLab Pro, you don't see any of that stuff. It's a very clean formulation. The only thing it has is it's called NuFlow rice concentrate. That's basically the capsule itself. Okay, so you're talking gluten-free, soy-free, GMO-free encapsulation, no extra fillers or preservatives. So that, to me, that's a big green flag right there, that this is a good, it's a well-made product. No corners cut, no preservatives to keep it on the shelf longer. It just is what it is. And the ingredients themselves, they're all natural ingredients, which is also a big thing that I like. Not to say that I have anything against synthetic nootropics. I've really changed my stance on that over the last year. But what I do love all the time, more than synthetic nootropics, are natural nootropics. So things that occur naturally. So natural herbs, natural amino acids, natural nutrients like choline. Okay, these are all things that I really value in a supplement. So in Mind Lab Pro specifically, starts off, you get 250 milligrams of choline. That's a good dose of choline. And choline in nootropic speak, that's the currency of the brain, acetylcholine, because choline will be converted to acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, that is the main neurotransmitter of your parasympathetic nervous system. But more than that, in the brain, it's like the energy switch that flicks everything on in your brain. So we're talking better memory, neuroprotection, staving off neurodegeneration, brain speed, recall, focus, concentration, ability to learn more, synaptic plasticity, all of these things. This is what comes with enhanced acetylcholine. 250 milligrams, that is a good dose for a stack like a pre-formulated stack like Mind Lab Pro. Then you get phosphatidylserine, 100 milligrams. It's also a pretty decent dose. Phosphatidylserine, this is the phospholipid that's found in every membrane in your cell. So you'll find this not just in the cellular membrane, you'll find this in the mitochondrial membrane, you'll find this in all the organelle membranes. This is a crucial nutrient to have as it upholds integrity, allows cell-to-cell communication, allows good stuff in the cell and keeps bad stuff out of the cell. And so in studies, and they have studied this extensively in humans, phosphatidylserine, they find that it actually has memory-enhancing properties. It's good for well-being. It's good for neuroprotection. It also can help with ADHD. And again, these are all from human randomized placebo-controlled trials. And phosphatidylserine, is one of the few nootropics that's actually approved by the FDA. And if you know anything about the FDA and how much they do not like nootropics, that says a lot. The next thing you're going to find is rhodiola rosea. So in this rhodiola rosea, you're getting 50 milligrams. So if you've watched my adaptogens video, I'll link it down here in the comments or in the description below. Rhodiola rosea is one of the top adaptogenic herbs. It's a potent adaptogen, which means that it can modulate the stress response so that if you feel overly stressed, if you've got high cortisol, this is something that can keep that under control. It's not going to sedate you. Rhodiola specifically has energizing properties, but it's going to control your stress response so that the rest of your body can work well, so that less stress means better hormone production. It means better more brain energy, more cognitive well-being, clear thinking. So rhodiola rosea is a potent adaptogenic herb. You're getting 50 milligrams. That's pretty good. Another adaptogen you're going to find in here is Bacopa monnieri. And what I like about this is it's standardized to 24% bacosides, which are the bioactive ingredients in Bacopa monnieri, which means it's high quality. Bacopa monnieri, I also made a video about that. I'll link it down in the comments below. Bacopa monnieri is good, a good natural herb that enhances memory and focused thinking. Another great nootropic you're going to find in this, one of my top nootropics, lion's mane mushroom. And so I don't find lion's mane in most other nootropic stacks. So the fact that Mind Lab Pro was able to get lion's mane in here says a lot. So lion's mane is really good for neural growth factor. So you're talking about BDNF, neural growth factor, improved brain plasticity. So this is like literally building new brain, being able to build new neural connections. So if you have high cognitive demands for learning new things. So let's say maybe you're not a student. If you're a student, this is great, but let's say you're not a student. Let's say you just read a lot. Let's say you watch a lot of documentaries, you attend a lot of lectures, you watch a lot of, lectures or, educational material online, whatever it is. This is going to help build those neural connections so that you can learn more and retain more. So lion's mane is potent at that, and there's 500 milligrams, which is a good dose. You also get N-acetyl L-tyrosine, which is a great nootropic. I like N-acetyl L-tyrosine for, again, flicking the brain on. I feel like when I have tyrosine, my brain just feels on, but in a more emotional sense. So N-acetyl-L-tyrosine is a precursor to dopamine. So you're going to feel more dopamine, more norepinephrine. And what this translates to is better overall cognition, but really more specifically, better focus and attention, memory formation, mental speed, and obviously better, better emotional feelings, better reward feelings, more dopamine, more reward. So that's what tyrosine is good for. You get 175 milligrams. You also get L-theanine, so 100 milligrams of L-theanine, which is not a lot, but it's enough to really kind of flick on enough that you need for promoting alpha brainwaves. So a high dose of L-theanine would be like 400 milligrams. 100 milligrams, again, not super high powered, but enough to where it's going to play that kind of background role of flicking on the alpha brainwaves, which promote creativity, kind of promote that outside the box thinking. You also get pine bark extract, which is really good for improving blood flow to the brain, oxygen flow to the brain. You get 75 milligrams from that. So, and then the last thing I'm going to talk about here in the formula is the B vitamins. So you get B6, B9, B12. So each of these is very important for metabolic processes throughout the body. B12 specifically is really important for methylation. So, that's obviously for turning on and off certain genes, which is going to affect how your brain is functioning to begin with. So you need good methylation you're getting from B12, B9, folate, B6 has to do a lot with a lot of different metabolic processes. So what I say is the B vitamins, all of the nootropics are like ingredients for the stew. And then the B vitamins are the flame on the stove that kind of gets everything going. So that's why it's important to have these B vitamins. And you find B vitamins in most other nootropic stacks as well. So MindLab Pro does have some clinical studies that have evaluated MindLab Pro specifically, not just the ingredients in isolation. I'll link to that study here, but what they found was that 30 days of MindLab Pro showed a significant positive impact on information processing. So take that for what you will. It was, I believe, a study that was financed by MindLab Pro. So they did find a positive result, but there is information in that study if you want to dive even deeper. I do find MindLab Pro's website, by the way, to be a very good source of information for learning more about the stack itself, but then the compound. But then they also have a lot of really good nootropics related articles. So if you are someone looking to learn more about nootropics, their website is a wealth of information. And so is another little website called holisticnootropics.com, which I got a link to in the show notes below. So side effects and issues. Look, there are no side effects that have been studied. This isn't, it does not contain caffeine, so you're not going to feel overstimulated. So you can take this in the afternoon, but I don't recommend it. I recommend taking this in the morning. But with all of the choline and all of the nootropics, you don't want your brain to be flicked on, too late in the day, because then it could be hard to sleep. You might have some weird dreams. You might have restless sleep. So this is better done in the morning. But like I said, you're not going to get a lot of side effects. There are some problematic issues with L-tyrosine, which I've discussed in another video, that has to do with dopamine synthesis and anxiety and depression. But at what this is dosed at, you're probably not going to hit that, but it is something to be on the lookout for. Also, if you are taking any pharmaceutical medications, if you're on any antidepressants, anxiolytics, SSRIs, benzodiazepines, if you're on any blood pressure medication, blood sugar medication, whatever it is, pain medication, you definitely need to check with your doctor to make sure that something like MindLab Pro is not contraindicated. But also some people do better with some of these things in isolation. So maybe, you think MindLab Pro is great, but you don't really want to go for it as much as you would like to try a higher dose of citicoline or alpha GPC or something like that by itself. That could be also very effective. But, I always say for people who are new to nootropics or somebody who wants nootropics, but they don't want, a cabinet full of all of these pill boxes and powders and tinctures and stuff. It can get expensive. It can get very cluttery too. You get everything you need in just one dose of this, and you could go higher dose of this if you need. They recommend you can go all the way up to 2 capsules is a dose. You can go all the way to 4 capsules and be okay. And I've noticed when I take more capsules, I do get more of a benefit. So I've gone as high as 3. I like to do 2 because I don't like to feel overpowered by the nootropic, but that's just me. Everybody's kind of different in that sense. But I'd love to know what you think. Are you a user of MindLab Pro? Have you used it to success? Did you not have success from MindLab Pro? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If there's any other nootropic stacks that you particularly like, other than MindLab Pro, any thoughts about nootropics in general, let me know down in the comments below. We'll keep the conversation going down there. Otherwise, that is all for today, my friends. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.